This video is going to be minimally edited, and it's probably going to be a quick one. And most of my videos will probably end up being in this format because I like to talk about things while they're fresh on my mind, which this is something that I think about often, but still. Maybe I'm just old, but I am tired, and I have a hard time understanding anymore how anyone has the energy for these like gender wars that are happening. You know, the men versus women, women versus men, or even women versus women. I don't really see the men versus men aspect, and maybe that's because I'm a woman. But if you're a woman, please hear me out. It is one of my biggest pet peeves that many women out there automatically view another woman if she's not ugly. Sorry, just that's the reality. Oftentimes, is like some sort of nemesis. Like I guess I understand where it comes from, but kind of not really. Like, I feel like there's enough partners out there to go around. You don't have to view everyone as someone who is going to try to take, like, every other woman as someone who's going to try to take something from you. They're probably not, honestly, especially in today's day and age. A lot of people don't. I mean, I think most people still do want a partner, but I think there are many out there that just really don't care. And the people who do have partners, they really don't care. I mean, I still have people, and I'm nothing to look at, honest. I am nothing to look at. But I still sometimes out in my sweats, hair a mess, just buying diapers and wipes, have women look at me because I glanced in the direction of them and their man, and I'm just like, girl, you're literally just existing in public, and I literally just glanced at you guys. I did not take the eyeballs out of my sockets and lay them upon your man like that. You can calm down. That's bothered me always. Like, ever since I was young, it's just always bothered me because at the end of the day, it's hateful, and it doesn't come from a good place. It comes from a place, first of all, of where for some reason you think that this man, and I don't know him, maybe he is, but you think that this man is worth so much more than you are. So much more. You must really married up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. Anyway, I won't get too far into that. The whole point that I'm trying to make, and let's do the men versus women and women versus men thing. Now, there's a lot of nuance to that I'm not going to get into today, like specifically when it comes to abuse. That's a whole topic of its own, and it's too nuanced to get into with what I'm actually speaking about. Because what I'm actually trying to talk about is just the general aspect of it, and don't get me wrong, I was young, and I was taught that feminism, to some degree, I was being taught that online, of course, that feminism meant hating men. And now at my big old age, I'll give you an example of what it means to me now, because honestly, I think that feminism tends to mean something different to almost everyone, whether you're male or female. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, because I don't know if it's ever been solely unified. But anyway, there was this guy in Oklahoma who, I'm going to have to bleep out these words, so I'll put a sort of spelling of them there. Brutally raped and strangled and brutalized two now women. They were underage at the time, and as was he, by like a year. He had the possibility of facing 78 years in prison being tried as an adult. Damn straight, okay? But that's not what happened, because see, even with there being video evidence, of him doing this, he got I think it was 150 hours of community service. I got that as a child because I got caught with a grinder in my car. Maybe TMI, but I don't know if I've really told people that, but it's kind of embarrassing, but it's also kind of funny. I got caught with a grinder that I didn't even know was in my car. Someone had left it in my car, and I got in more trouble for that. That's what feminism means to me, is that motherfucker gets jail time, and significant jail time. But what it does not mean is that men are an enemy of mine. That is my point. And, maybe I was just young and full of energy and anger and angst, and maybe that was it. And maybe to some degree, a lot of people grow out of that. I don't think everyone will. I think that some people genuinely just have a lot of stuff they need to work on and hate in their heart. And I've been lucky to not need to seek outside help with that. Honestly, I'm not going to toot my own horn that I'm good at self-regulating, because in a lot of ways I'm really not. But this was something I found my way out of without any help, because I realized what was happening. Honestly, I was like, I'm in a relationship with a man and I'm watching content that is making me hate men. And it's very easy to prey on my mind in that way because I have been abused by a man. I changed my algorithm. Essentially, that I told it to stop. I was uninterested, and to stop showing me things that were gearing in that direction. My algorithm is extremely neutral now, almost a decade later. Anyways, that's really the point I'm trying to make, is just, aren't we tired? Aren't we tired of being pitted against each other when a lot of the real issues, and there are ism issues, the different isms, they do exist, but there is this baseline of let's be enemies with thy neighbor, when it's like a lot of, and I'm not excusing the real ism issues, but a lot of our problems really come from economic and mental health places, more so, I feel like, than anything. And propaganda, oh my God, propaganda. It is ripping people apart. It's crazy. Which that is part of the propaganda. That thy neighbor is thy enemy, okay? I'm tired. And I again, maybe some of you are young and you haven't reached that point yet, and maybe some of you will never reach that point, and maybe there's something wrong with me. I don't know. But all I know is that I'm tired of all the arguing and the fighting, because I've been watching it happen for a long time now, and it's not fixing anything. So at the end of the day, if you can't let go of how you feel about other people who are different from you or whatever, like, really sit down and think about what the fuck it has changed. Sit down and think about your general hatred for people that are different than you, or women, if you view other women as like competition just inherently. I want you all to sit down and really fucking think about what it's helped, please, because maybe there's something wrong with me, but I don't see division as helpful. Unless you're dividing a sick individual like that guy was talking about from the public, divide the fuck out of that. But like, if you're not taking someone who is actually a horrible, despicable person that should not be allowed around other human beings for everyone's safety, then I guess that there is some kind of chance that there could be a common ground reached for the better of everyone. And I just want people to find that. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe I need therapy. But that is how I feel. I don't know. Maybe I should apologize for making this video. Apologize for speaking or existing for anyone who hates me inherently because they want to. Really? I mean, when it comes down to it. Anyway. If you'd like to leave me a like, that'd be great, or a sub, that'd be cool too. If you don't want to do that, then I will try again next time. And if you do leave a comment and you disagree, just please do so nicely. Okay, bye bye.